You drank an entire 375 milliliter bottle of soju in one night. Wow. You know, I actually like soju better than sake, honestly. I've not really had very many sakes that I enjoy, but I've had a lot of sojus that I enjoy. I think it's grind time, right? Yeah. We're gonna start the stream off with some grinding. Apparently resetting the game resets the dungeon too. Interesting. Not like it matters, but I mean treasures, you know. I face off like they do in Face Off.
Hang on, because this
No,
one's
don't,
gonna
don't,
be tough.
don't, shit, don't.
Gee, John, you're so
Dang it.
cool!
Don't waste your
Well, that
time
sucks.
with fire attacks.
We run.
Now's your chance. Run!
I wonder if there's a 100% chance to run away on bonus attacks. That's pretty interesting if that's the case. Because that was the first time I've tried to run away on a bonus attack and it was successful. Like instantaneous, you know? Oh, come on. This
Electricity
was...
is its weakness. Keep at it.
Yeah, but it's just gonna...
Senpai, that was so cool.
I'm pressing triangle to back out. I need to stop doing that because that's the rush thing. Bear soda!
Go for it.
I have a heavy... Yeah, but it takes no damage anyway. There's just an extra attack.
Hit the enemy's weakness.
Jeez.
Aha! Okay!
19 whole damage.
Persona! Go get him! Go, go, go!
Couldn't quite beat it.
Ruh-roh.
Enemy down. Nice hit.
It's up to you, Chief.
Can I want to...
Beat it to a pulp.
Ooh.
Keep
Oh,
going,
it takes
guys.
extra damage when it's down, I think.
Persona!
Somebody's gonna die.
Got back up.
Who is it?
Beat it fast.
And you're dead.
Yikes, Teddy! Someone heal him! We have a... Huh? Go for it,
Never mind,
guys.
then.
Get in there.
That was easy.
Congrats, Senpai!
Yay, I leveled up!
It's always Teddy. I know, dude. I know. It's like... It's almost like he's made out of fluff and stuffing, you know? Instead of harder stuff. Do I have any keys? Probably not. Oh, I do. Treasure. Out of the gutter. What was it that I got? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Thought I had that on already. Red silence. Wow. Nah, it's good, but I need I need the resistance dodging or whatever to ice that she has so she doesn't get her weakness hit against her all the time.
Yikes, what's with this thing? Don't give in.
Persona!
Two enemies down.
Keep it up, Sensei!
Whoa, it's a doozy.
Like to wind.
Persona!
Enemy down. We ready? It will end here.
Sorry about that. I was feeling like kind of congested. I needed to blow my nose a little bit.
Defeated. That's the spirit, Chie-senpai.
Don't use fire cause they drain it, and it's so good that they are so
Just handle the rest. Come on,
powerful.
this fight's not over.
Lilith!
Lilith! Oh, he actually says the name of the persona. I didn't notice that.
Defeated.
Gotcha!
Oh, did I level up?
I think I need to go until everybody has like a high level spell, like high level damage spell. No. Actually, you know what? I have. No, you know what it is? It's Chie that doesn't have a high level damage spell yet. It's just Chie. Chie senpai, why? Teddy should change into a dragon, but then it wouldn't be Bearsona anymore. That wouldn't be Bearsona anymore. These guys are weak to ice. Okay, that's fine.
Three enemies left. You can win this. Two enemies
That's it,
down.
Sensei!
Keep going, senpai. You hit the enemy's weakness.
Now! Suzuka Gongen!
Enemy down.
Yeah, they really don't know. I really don't know what they're thinking.
Give it up!
Welcome to Persona, though, where every enemy is like a crazy design. And remember, there's a literal penis chariot monster. So, oh wow, I drew kinky. That's pretty kinky. Desu, spin to win. Life or death. Image of death grins. That's it. Okay. Fun fact, the death card in tarot cards isn't even a bad thing. It just means change is coming. The upright death card effect has been activated. Everyone recover full SP. Everyone HP become 1. The view before you is getting dim. Oh, okay. Huh. All right. That's an interesting Arcana effect. I mean, I guess I could save it. But yeah, the death card just means change. That's it. Coffee time! The Cthulhu card.
This one's strong. This one's strong. Watch yourself. Two enemies left. Don't lower your guard.
Madoom! It's Madoom. See you later, nerd.
You're off to a good start. Hey! Last one. Go for it.
What? I can't defeat it!
Madoon is only 15 SP. Someone was saying the other day that Madoon is a ton of SP and it's not. It's 15. That's not a lot of SP at all. Oh wow, so many things to choose from. Let's get the cat thing down there. Oh, that was one late. Instead we got giant earthworm thingy. Chansu! I think this one is just a view of the map, Hierophant. And chance of Arcana, okay. Don't do Arcanas now. Don't do bonus Arcanas because the chance of negative is higher. Got it. Y'all got any plans for the weekend? Aside from loaf. Turn into a loaf of bread. Turn into a loaf of bread. That's the plan. Oh no! She was my ice! No! Oh, it's just one anyway.
Just what I'd expect, GA-senpai.
Oh, it's three actually. I keep doing DQ inputs and using triangle as my
Yukiko-senpai, your defense is
backup.
Yukiko-senpai needs help.
This should have been an easy quick fight. Game night was canceled. Dude, I used to have a game night every week, every Friday. We'd go and do like board games or like just, you know, Smash or whatever. And then things changed. Feels bad. And that's when the Fire Legion or the Fire Clan attacked, or the Fire Legion, the fire people, the people on fire. That's when they attacked. I'm really struggling to remember the button inputs here. Fire Nation? That doesn't sound right at all. You guys are crazy, the Fire Nation. Fire Nation, yeah, right. Like, that's a thing. I don't know why, guys. I trust you guys. What the?
Yikes, what's with this thing? Don't give in. Yukiko-senpai, are you okay?
At least they're attacking the one I was guarding.
Two enemies left. Don't lower your guard.
Madoom! Am I enjoying the story? It's actually good. Yeah.
Enemy defeated. You're off to a good start. I'm okay. Last one.
Nope.
Go for it.
No, we're not going for that. I think the story is really good in this, and this is a really good example of a game that has a lot of dialogue in it. There's tons and tons of dialogue in it. There's a lot of like small little things with characters, and it's actually pretty well written, you know, for the most part. There's still your generic, like, once you get to a threshold in the character development, they have to like spill their guts about everything that they've ever experienced in their entire life and how it matters to the current situation, blah, 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 blah. There's still that, but like, I think it's important for this game because the whole point of it is to build relationships and get close to them, and I feel like that's I feel like that's a fair way, like a fair excuse to do that, you know?
Okay, I'll look for
Like, you're supposed to have a special connection with people and be able to draw out their innermost emotions and feelings, and that's kind of like your power. And
just what I'd expect.
for a game like this, I think it's kind of important that you have that
Now's
like
your chance. Run.
overwriting in a way, and there's still a way to do overwriting well, you know, where it's not like down to their favorite color of sock and, you know, how many lima beans they've eaten in their entire life. You know, it's just like there's this level of overwriting that is just absurd, and this game doesn't trespass, you know, it doesn't trespass. So I think the writing is pretty solid for the most part. I think the storytelling is good. I kind of really dig the whole concept of like, this game isn't a movie that you play. It's more like a television series. You know, it's more like an entire anime season. You know, does that make sense? Like, it's more like 4 seasons of an anime. You know, because like you do the thing, you get the build up, and then you solve it, and then you're back to normal, and then you know a stronger thing comes, and you build up, and then you defeat it. And so it feels like episodic in nature, and I kind of appreciate a lot of how it does that. Like you can play a day, you do an episode. Yeah, story arcs. Yeah. That's the word. Exactly, and it all comes back to the same theme for the finale later on that you'll have, you know? Yeah, exactly. It just does it really well, and it's the same with Persona 5. I mean, I would definitely put Persona 5 above this game for sure. There's just to say that this game is worse than or better than Persona 5 would just be a flat out lie. But this game was also made before Persona 5, so when this game came out, you know, it didn't have to live up to Persona 5, and it was fine. It's fine. Oh, there's an enemy over there. Let's kill it. Like, I'm actually interested in a lot of,
Hang on, because this one's gonna be tough.
I'm actually interested in a lot of the story arcs that people have. You know, the little individual stories, side stories. And the reason I care about them is because I've had time to build up a relationship with the characters, you know? It's not like I'm talking to NPC 72 and I need to go find, you know, 5 boar livers and then they're gonna tell me their entire life story after I do it. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about your life story unless you've given me a reason to care about it. And that's what Persona does. It gives you a reason to care about it. You build up these social links or these relationships with people, and you start to develop an attachment to them. And then you determine whether or not you like them or not, and then you care about their backstory. But again, still, there is the pitfall that a lot of games like this fall into, where, like, there's not a reason for you to get their entire life story, even with a character development, like growth that you have, like a party member or something like that, you know? Like in Berseria, I got a lot of, I don't give a shit about your backstory story, you know?
Now, Suzuka Gongen!
You struck its weak spot,
Chie-chan, you're
Chie-senpai.
so cool!
You struck its weak spot, Chie-senpai.
I need wind. I need to break wind. and they'll just volunteer their backstory, you know, and it'll just be really forced.
Me, it's my turn.
Short.
Enemy down.
Like Tales of Berseria was like so forced. And you might be asking yourself, how do you tell if it's forced or not? If the way to tell if it's forced backstory
Congratulations.
is there's this like there's this way that a lot of games have of like kind of trying to force like a connection. And if it feels like the connection, you know what I mean by connection is like connecting one dot to another, like the whole comb thing. Luffy says comb, you know? Just like, it had to draw attention to it so much and so often, and in places where it didn't really have a place at all. Like, it just didn't belong there, you know? And it just kept doing that. I'm never gonna use Heat Wave. I'm gonna see if counter and high counter stack. And that's forced. You know, putting it in a place where it doesn't really feel like it belongs. Just randomly pulling it out, you know, just out of nowhere, where it doesn't really feel natural. Or like they'll draw a connection to it, where it just kind of feels like they're really kind of struggling. You know, you know what it is? It's like when you're trying to do a pun and you gotta like really work around with the words to try and get it to actually work. You know, and in the end, you don't even have anything that sounds like the word or the pun. And that's kind of what I mean by that. It just I don't know, maybe I just have like a third sense for it, but believe me when I say Berseria was very forced with almost every single connection and character development thing that I had in the entire game. It's almost like they created what do you call it, like what's like synthetic problems, you know, that don't feel natural, just so they can have resolutions.
3 enemies on the field. Be careful.
Suzaku!
Yeah, exactly. That's a good example. The whole birds fly thing. They had to draw that out. Like, they had to draw that out so many times. And I told you from the very, very beginning, the very first time that he said it, I said they're gonna force this phrase back on us later on in the game. And sure enough, they did it many, many times.
Two enemies dead.
But there was one instance of it where it actually was really good. And then they didn't draw on that.
John, you're so cool!
Hey, not
They could have written it better to make it, like, actually... Because they were talking about the nature of creatures and everything, and it was, like, really good at first, and it was like, you know, oh shit, like, this could actually have value. And then they didn't... They didn't capitalize on it. Just poor writing, you know? I got Pig Bear Scorpion! But anyway, I mean, I enjoyed Berseria for the gameplay, and you can watch all of my thoughts on Berseria and my final review of the game on YouTube if you want to catch more of it, but I don't want to say too much about the game since I'm sure there's still people here that haven't played it. Can't get my mind out of those memories. The early story actually wasn't that bad.
Now's your chance.
Although I will say, like, I mean, just watch the first 5 episodes. I predict basically the entire game right off the bat. You know? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it other than just... It's predictable and forced, you know. But again, like with this game, Persona 4, it doesn't really do that a lot. It really kind of just... I don't want to fight those horsies. Not even by themselves. I think this game does a really good job of kind of presenting to you meaningful situations where you can build character development or not, and you care about the characters as you build relationships with them, or you don't, you know? Like, for instance, I hate her, you know? I didn't care for Ayame either.
There are 3 enemies. Don't get caught.
No one likes Ai. The only thing I don't like about Ai is that I know she's just there to be a jerk just so she can have character development and grow into a better person. And I don't like that idea because it's definitely creating a synthetic problem just to have a resolution. But at the same time, I mean, you have to write in a problem for there to have resolution in the first place. But sometimes the better way to do that is by to not create a problem in the first place, you know? To just kind of have like characters, they're chilling, and then problems come. If that makes sense.
Yuki-chan's the best!
What's the best thing I rated out of the fridge in the game? Nanako's pudding. Gomeno, sorry. Nanako-chan. Am I the only person that hears her say, can't get my mind out of those memories? It's probably gonna be a 4 seed. Ooh.
Oh, be careful. This one's strong. Keep going, senpai. You hit the enemy's weakness.
Just...
3 of them. Don't give up now, okay? Just what I'd expect, you, senpai.
Yuki-chan's the best!
Go for it, guy.
I've climbed the stairway to maturity!
Oh, he learned Amaretta. Oh, I have moderate and full restore HP. Okay, get rid of that. I chose the evil path. I chose the evil path when I ate Nanako's pudding. Ba-dum-ba-bum-ba-dum.